All right, who's ready to rock your business? My name is Julie Cortez. I am a freelance copywriter and proofreader. I work in the advertising and marketing field. What that means is I write advertising copy meaning words. All right, I write brochures and websites and TV commercials, videos, social media, PR, you name it, I've got my hands in it if it's somehow advertising, marketing, communications, PR related. I've been in the industry for 20 some odd years. I know I'm 12, but I'm not. And it's good on the personal side, not on the professional side. But anyway, so over the years, I've kind of made my mark, not only as a copywriter, but also as somebody who helps those who are self-employed in advertising and marketing. I now teach, I developed my own course and teach at the Kansas City Art Institute. I'm an adjunct professor. I developed a course called Freelancing 101 where I teach young artists how to run a business because they have nothing there like that. And then since then, I've become kind of the go-to person for media interviews, whether it's TV or radio or magazine, newspaper, in Kansas City of how to be a solopreneur. Okay, everybody heard that word before? So you're self-employed. And now I'm also developing a speaking and coaching program and just got back from Austin from the Freelance Conference where I gave 3 speaking presentations to people from all over the country who are self-employed. It was pretty awesome. So you can follow along the fun. I am on social media at KC Copy Diva, KC as in Kansas City, Copy Diva, that's me. And my website is juliecortez.com, Cortez with an S at the end, because apparently that's fancy, according to my ex-husband. So, so now the reason why I've kind of become the go-to resource is because I developed this organization called the Freelance Exchange. And I did that about 5 years into my career as I was sitting there alone at home, maybe you can relate, thinking, gosh, I have questions. I went to school to be a writer, not to be a business owner. I thought I'd be working in the advertising agencies somehow. I never dreamt that I would need to know how to run a business. But so many of us end up out on our own, whether by choice or by default, it happens. And so where do you go to get that training? And I thought, gosh, I know a lot of freelancers out there. Why don't I get them together and we'll just talk about it? So I formed my own little meetup. I think I emailed 50 people initially, had 20 people show up. This was back in 2003, and since then the organization has just grown and grown and grown. And what it is essentially, the first target audience is that it is for those who are self-employed in advertising and marketing, so writers, designers, photographers, what have you. And we have continuing education and mentorship, and we have social activities, but we've also become a go-to resource for Kansas City businesses, whether it's small businesses, solopreneurs, or even the ad agencies themselves will come to us when they need freelance talent, when they need to outsource. Now, I talk a lot to small businesses because working with freelancers is a lot less expensive than talking to the ad agencies, and yet many of us come from the ad agency side, so you can get agency quality talent at a fraction of the cost. So you can go online, you can go to fxofkc.com. We're also on all social media, fxofkc. Follow along the fun. Our website has all of our members' contact information on there. You can do a search. So if you're looking for PR help or social media help, we've got that as a free resource for you. So let's talk about this word, solopreneur, and what it means to you. Okay? What do you guys call yourselves?
Realtor.
Realtor? Okay. How do you define that? Do you work full-time? Do you work part-time?
Yes.
Yes. All the time.
24/7.
24/7, morning, noon, and night. It's kind of one of those industries, isn't it? So how many of you guys work from home? Several of you, okay? And you've got an office to go to. For those of you who don't work from home, are you there the rest of the time at an office? No. Where are you at?
Well, I go to the office.
You go into the office. Do you guys work from coffee shops at all? Yeah? Okay. So I'm a little bit in the same boat as well. I have a home office. Now, I don't have corporate backing like Platinum Realty. That's very nice that you have that, and you have the tools and the office supplies and everything else that you might need for that support. But I meet with my clients either at their offices or in coffee shops. So I deal with a lot of the same challenges when it comes to motivation, You got to be a self-starter, right? There's a lot of things that you need to do in order to be successful when nobody is looking over your shoulder saying, hey, you need to be at work at 8 a.m., right? Okay. So it comes with its own sets of challenges, but also opportunities as well. Veronica, if you will, please. Okay, we're going to talk about the pros and cons. First of all, the pros. What are the pros of working for yourself or from home?
Time management.
Time management. What else? I heard something.
Flexibility.
Flexibility. Huh? Yes? No? You get to set your own schedule. You can pretty much wear what you want. You can work with whom you want, right? All of those are great. You're in charge of your own success. So it's up to you if you're going to be successful or not. Now, what are the cons? Yes?
Staying on task.
Staying on task. What else?
No social.
I can't hear you.
No social contact.
No social contact. You can be very lonely. No accountability. No health insurance? Do you guys get health insurance through Platinum?
Sometimes lack of.
Sometimes.
No health insurance.
No health insurance. Benefits? What about retirement? Who takes care of your taxes? Well, but do you have to keep track of that, or do taxes come out of your paychecks? What's that? You do your own bookkeeping. Same here. I understand these challenges. Totally. You have to manage your own clients. You have to manage your own deadlines. You've got to be self-disciplined. And of course, it's going to take time to build up your clientele and build your success. Anything else to add on pros and cons? Nope. So now we're going to talk about some little motivational tips that can help you wake up, kick ass, and repeat. Number one thing after you wake up in the morning, make your bed. Why do I say that?
Because you get to climb into a nice, freshly made bed.
When you come home, yes, when you're done for the evening. It's something done, a sense of accomplishment. What else? Who's going to get this? What's that? Can't go back into it. Absolutely. Absolutely. It might look so warm and inviting, you might be tempted to go back into it. Make your bed. Make your bed. These are simple psychological tips that really work. Okay, next, shower and get ready for the day. It's such a simple concept, but so many of us are like, gosh, I work from home. Why do I need to do that? I can work in my jammies and bunny slippers, right? But you won't be as productive. You won't feel like you're going to work. If somebody calls you on the phone, guess what? You're not going to sound as professional either. You know, if you're leaning back in your jammies, yo, what's up? You know, maybe you don't say that. But you're not going to be as professional as if you were. I'm not saying you have to wear a suit and tie, you know, but be professional. What if somebody calls you and wants to meet you, like within an hour? Are you going to be ready to go? Oh, I can't do that. I'm still in my jammies. I got to shower and get my hair done and my makeup done. No, be ready. Be ready. Simple tips, right? Something else that I've learned that really helps is to make it a point to get out of the house every single day. I don't care what you do. You go and have lunch with a friend. You have happy hour with a buddy. Whatever the case may be, get out of the house. Go run an errand. Go to Staples, pick up some office supplies, go to the post office. Just get out of the house and feel like a productive member of society. Right? Interact with others. Don't be so lonely at home. What about minimalizing distractions? Who can name some distractions from home? Husband, yes. What's that?
My husband.
Husband, yes. What else?
Dog.
Wives, dogs, children. What's that? The kitchen, laundry, all those chores that are sitting there looking at you, and you're like, gosh, I'm here, might as well do it. No, don't do them then. Set office hours for yourself and stay focused. Now, let's talk about kids and husbands and dogs and wives, right? You've got to train yourself and then train them next, okay? So if you set office hours for yourself, make sure that they don't disturb you during those office hours. Have a set-aside space for yourself to work, Maybe you close the door. Maybe you put a little sign on the door that says do not disturb. Make sure they understand that that is not time to disturb you, that you are working. Okay? Now, let me tell you a little funny story about how I had to train my mother. Okay? God love her. And this was years ago. So she called me on my home office phone, didn't leave a message. Then called me on my cell phone, didn't leave a message. Called me again on my home office phone, didn't leave a message. Then again on my cell phone and didn't leave a message. This was all within 5 minutes. What do you think I'm thinking? Emergency. God forbid something happened to my dad. So I called her back right away. Mom, is everything okay? Is everything okay? Well, yeah, Julie, it's fine. What are you doing? I'm working. What's going on? Drop what you're doing. There's a meat sale at Price Chopper you got to go to right now. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Could you not have left that on a voicemail? Could you not have waited till later to call me? So I told her, listen, Mom, if it's not an emergency and you just want to chit-chat. I'm not saying it's not important to her. A meat sale is very important, apparently. But call me during the lunch hour or call me after hours. Plain and simple. To this day, does she do that? No, I don't answer the phone. And I know it's not an emergency unless she tells me it's an emergency. Okay? Train yourself, train your family, train your friends. Okay? It's one of those things, too, where you want to ensure that you are not acting like this is a hobby or a side project. This is a business, so you want to act like a business. Okay? This is how you're going to kick ass and do that. Visualize success, present a successful front. Okay? Let's see what else we got here. Something else you want to do is to set policies and procedures. So, for example, if you have a new client prospect, what is the first thing that you do? Anybody? What's the first thing you do? Yes?
I call them, I email them, I text them, I write them a handwritten note, and then I wait a few days, and then I try to set an appointment.
Okay, so you've got steps in order of what you do. Who else?
Set the time frame that you're available to show houses.
Okay, very good. Do you guys set up, even on your desktop, do you set up maybe a new job jacket or a folder for this particular person? Do you set up a client profile? What are the policies that you have or the procedures that you have for every single client? Make sure you know what those are, you develop those, and you adhere to them for each and every prospect or existing client. When I say set office hours, I mean set office hours. Now, I understand that the industry that you guys are in is really a round-the-clock kind of industry, right? You can work morning, noon, and nights, showing houses and whatnot. The best piece of advice I can give you, if at all possible, try and ensure that those appointments are kept within your parameters of the office hours that you set. You've got to find this good balance of work and life separation, or else it's just going to run you ragged, honestly. Make sure you take time for weekends as well, for holidays as well. Okay? It's very, very important, or else you're going to get burnt out really quick. All right, what about tracking your mileage? Do you guys get to write that off for taxes? Okay, what are your policies for that? How do you do that?
IQ.
What's that?
Mile IQ.
Mile IQ is an app, yes. What's that?
I just said I can't do that app thing. I just write it.
Good, that's okay. I'm old school as well. Okay, but you guys know you have to do that, right, in order to be able to write that off. So when it comes to taxes, which is great to learn because you can either write off your mileage or you can write off your expenses for the year, most accountants will tell you that, I don't know why this Wi-Fi keeps coming on. Most accountants will tell you that it's more beneficial for you to go ahead and keep track of your mileage, and you'll get more in the long run. But again, policies and procedures. Make sure you have them in place and make sure that you adhere to them. Okay? Now, let's talk about branding, because I think it's so essential for you as a business. You've got the Platinum Realty brand behind you, which is amazing, and a great, solid foundation. You know that there are policies and procedures when it comes to Platinum Realty, right? Surely there's a style guide, something that you have to adhere to. You want to have that logo on everything that you put out. But what about branding yourself? as your own business, as your own realtor? Who here has a brand developed? One person, two people. Okay, let me explain to you why it's so important to have a brand. First of all, a brand is so much more than a logo. It's your tagline, it's your company voice, it's your color scheme. It's the way that people perceive you when you're not around. Do you leave a really good taste in their mouth? What's your reputation like? All of those things that I mentioned, your logo, your tagline, your voice, et cetera, go into your brand. Okay? Now you can work with, and I highly recommend you work with a professional designer to come up with your logo, and other people who are professionals in the advertising marketing industry to come up with your entire brand and do your other promotions. Now I know you have access to, is it the personal marketing company? Personal marketing company specializes in promotions for those in real estate. And they're located here in Kansas City. I've actually done some work with them in the past. You also have access to the Freelance Exchange and all of us freelancers who can help you with this, with branding and with your other promotions. Now, when I say color scheme for your branding, it's not just your logo, whatever the case may be. You can put that out everywhere else. Who do you know who wears their logo, wears their brand colors? Me! Me! It's on my nails, it's in my hair, it's on my shirt. It's on my deck, right? And you're seeing my logo, hopefully, on every single slide. You may not like it. You're never going to forget it. Okay? I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme. I know some people, like if you go to an award show, you know, the men will dress up in a nice suit and tie, you know, and just maybe the tie is their brand color, or the little square pocket. It can be very, very subtle, but still a reminder of who you are and what you do. Heck, my license plate is even branded. I've even got a little decal with my logo on it. You don't have to do that, but you can. My laptop bag, purple. My laptop, pink, right? Or the case is pink. All part of the branding. There's a method behind this madness. It all has to do with people remembering who you are. Okay? All right. Any questions on branding before we go ahead? Nope? Okay. So the way you're going to develop your brand, besides working with an expert, again, that I highly recommend, but the one thing you want to keep in mind is that you need to distinguish yourself. How are you different from your competition? There's a lot of competition out there in the real estate market, right? There's a lot. How do you differentiate yourself? How are you different? Dig deep. Don't just sit there and tell me I provide the utmost customer service. Everybody can say that. What can you say that is truly different about you? What makes you different? Is it your personality? Is it your style? Is it your knowledge? Is it your availability?
Being their truth.
I can't hear you. What?
Being their truth.
Being their truth?
Truth.
Shoot. Truth. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Be true to yourself. Don't let that affect you. All right. So, of course, you're going to have a business card, right? See my logo, see the branding. It's the same stuff. You guys can have one of these later. It's pretty cool on the back, right? Have fun with it. Make it memorable. These did not cost an arm and a leg, believe it or not. They didn't. How many of you guys have an elevator speech? Who can tell me what an elevator speech is? You?
Hi, my name is Jerry Mulder. I help people increase their wealth by property ownership.
Very good. So an elevator speech is essentially what you might say in the time that it would take you to ride an elevator with somebody. Less than 30 seconds. It explains who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how you can benefit somebody else. It's one of the best toolkits you can have, and it's essential that you have one. You just write it out, it's a few sentences, and memorize it. It doesn't have to be verbatim, you can totally ad-lib depending on the situation. But an elevator speech is part of your branding. And it's something so easy peasy, anybody can do it. Okay? Anything else on branding 101 before we go forward? No? Okay. Let's talk about advertising and marketing. There's so much you can do when it comes to traditional advertising, print ads, right? And magazines and newspapers and newsletters. You can do direct mail, right? Postcards, letters. You can send emails. You can have a drip campaign. You need to have a website. If you don't have a website, somebody might wonder your credibility. You should also be on social media. And not just be on social media, but be active on social media. Engage with your prospects. Get your referrals and testimonials from happy clients in the past and promote those. Again, work with an expert to set this up. Once you've got the hang of it, especially for something like social media, I'm okay with you guys doing it yourself, but make sure everything is branded across the board and follow suit with your voice and your colors and your logos and Platinum Realty's logo all the way through. One of the hardest things to do when we're self-employed is to spend money. Because sometimes you don't know when the next paycheck is going to come in, am I right? You just don't know. And so you tighten your purse strings or your pocketbooks, and you're like, I don't know if I want to spend money on this. But I will tell you, you have to spend money in order to make money. That's the way it works. Okay? It's the hard truth, but it works. Okay, so that said, when it comes to promotions, not only can you do advertising and marketing, Veronica, if you will, you can also do PR. PR is essentially free advertising, free publicity. Now, what do I mean by PR? Public relations, getting your name out there. Maybe you get interviewed by the local newspaper or magazine. Is Broker Agent magazine still around? No?
I think so. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. I actually used to work for them many, many years ago. But how do you get interviewed into a publication like that? How do you get into something like that? You've got to make yourself known. Can you send out a press release? Absolutely. You know how much it costs to put together a press release? Zero if you do it yourself. There's plenty of templates online. Or you can hire somebody to do it. Shameless plug. Social media, that's free, right? Have your own Facebook company page, branded. You can be on LinkedIn, you can be on Twitter, you can be on Instagram. Maybe even for real estate, you'd consider Pinterest. Think about what works for you and your clientele. Where are they going to be most active? People want to work with people whom they know, like, and trust. Be that resource for them. Not everybody is going to be looking for a home right this minute. It might be 10 years from now, right? But if you're top of mind, guess who they're going to go to? And how do you stay top of mind? You stay in front of their face. You email them. You use social media, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I'll tell you, one of the best things that I ever did when it came to PR was I got out there and volunteered. Served on local committees, served on boards. I got to be known as somebody who gives back to the community, somebody who has leadership skills. And I kid you not, whether or not somebody has seen my portfolio work before, I'm getting referred because they know that I work hard in my volunteer capacity. It somehow automatically translates to, oh, she's great at this, she must be great at copywriting as well. I get referrals all the time because of the volunteer work that I do. Be that person. It's easy. And if you're volunteering in a capacity where it's for work related, you are promoting yourself. You can write off those that mileage when you go to the meetings and whatnot, or the events. It's one of those things where I'm a firm believer that if you put good juju out into the universe, good juju will come back in return. Put good energy out there and be successful. Okay, now one of the other things that we haven't talked about just yet is networking. It is a vital resource when it comes to marketing. Whether you like it or not, it's kind of one of those evil necessities, right? You've got to go meet people if you want people to work with you. Okay, so what is networking? You're talking with like-minded individuals who have the same interests in you, whether it's personally or professionally. Now tell me, from a real estate perspective, where might you go and do some networking? Church? Okay, where else? Where might you find clients?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Perfect answer. There are also a ton of networking groups out there, whether it's a LinkedIn group, whether it's by your city or your county. What about Chamber of Commerce? There's a ton of opportunity there, a ton of potential. Go to your local chamber coffee meetups or happy hours. Do you know how many people are there? Or that there. Do you know how many people are going to need a home at some point? Guess what? Go meet these people. Okay? Now, one of the toughest things to do when you go into one of these things, especially if you know other people there, is to not go run up and see your friends or see other people you know. It can get pretty cliquey that way, but you have to remember the purpose for your being there. You're there to meet potential clients, right? So go in with a goal in mind that maybe you want to meet 5 people, 5 quality people, okay? Networking is not a numbers game. It's not. It's about quality leads. It's not. Please don't be one of those people who walks in and just hands your card out, and then you're done. I kid you not, I've seen this done before, and it's so obnoxious. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want that, and then the card goes in the trash. Networking is about relationships. Business is about relationships. Life in general is about relationships. Okay? Make sure you know what that goal is in mind. Have your elevator speech ready. Have your business cards ready, but also remember that there's so much to be said for listening. Okay? Ask questions. See how you can benefit the person that you're talking to. You might not be able to benefit them, but maybe you have somebody that you can refer, right? You can help them. Oh, are you new to town? Do you need a doctor or a dentist? I know exactly who to refer you to. They're right in your neighborhood. Come highly recommended. Guess what? You're a valuable resource right there. It's not all about business, it's about relationships. But that person is going to remember that you helped them. That's what networking is all about. Now, there's some general icebreakers that you can use, because of course walking up to somebody new can be scary. So you can just go up, hi, my name's Julie, what is it that you do? That's easy enough, right? Or, hey, is this your first time here? Me too, how'd you hear about it? What about something as simple as the weather? Man, it's a beautiful day outside, isn't it? Easy little icebreakers, have nothing to do with business. Now, I'll tell you, there are some do's and don'ts when it comes to networking and topics of conversation, right? So what's safe? The weather, sports, movies. What's not safe? Politics. Yes, politics, religion, sex, anything controversial. Stay away. Stay far, far away. You don't want to make a bad first impression, and you never know what side of the party line the other person's going to be on, right? That has nothing to do with business at all. All right, so let's talk about some other tips and tricks when it comes to networking. Take a networking buddy with you. That way you always have somebody by your side if you need it, or maybe you decide to divide and conquer. For instance, there's a friend of mine, and we go and we hit the Greater Kansas City Chamber has this top 100 small business showcase every year that they do in the spring. And it is 100 booths to get through over at Union Station. That's a lot of booths to get through in a short amount of time. And it's also intimidating to go by yourself from booth to booth to booth to booth. Well, I'll tell you, my buddy is excellent at sales. I don't know how he does it. He is great at sales, and he knows like exactly the right questions to ask these people. I just walk up there with my little name tag that says copywriter, and if they need me, great, right? But I have a buddy who's so willing to introduce me, and it's awesome. Or if we divide and conquer, then if he's going along this side and he finds somebody who's in need of a copywriter, guess what? He's going to pull me over, and vice versa. If I know somebody who can use his services, I'm going to pull him over. It's a great strategy to have. Plus, maybe you need a break. So you go and you meet in the middle, you grab a cocktail, you grab some food, whatever the case may be. It's a nice, safe home base when you're out there networking. Just take a buddy with you. Now, what happens if you find yourself stuck in a conversation that you can't get out of? Anybody ever had this happen before? Yes. What do you do? Go to the bathroom. Yes. Excuse yourself with grace. Okay? There's a fine way to do this. Yes, you can excuse yourself and go to the bathroom. You can go get a drink. You can say it was so nice chatting with you. You know, I've got to meet up with this other person and then take off. There's a way to do it. Don't be rude about it. Watch your body language as well, because you'll know instantly just by looking at your feet, are you interested in talking to this person? And I'll tell you why. Suppose you and I are having a conversation, all right? If my feet are this way, I'm not interested in talking to you. Your feet are always pointed to the direction you want to head. Okay? So pay attention to your body language. Now, what do you do after a networking event? Anybody? I can't hear. What? Personal note. Yes. You follow up with them via email, or maybe a little thank you note on the card, or so nice to meet you card. You connect with them on LinkedIn. Absolutely. The key to networking is follow up. Don't just get a stack of business cards and have them sit on your desk. That doesn't do you any good. Add them to your MailChimp or Constant Contact, whatever you use. Add them to it and keep that relationship going. There's so much to be said for personal marketing. Invite them to lunch. Invite them to coffee. Yes, did you have a comment?
Is it a good idea to invite for the coffee?
It's a good idea to invite them for coffee? Yeah, absolutely. Get to know them, right? Get to know them. All right. So here's what I like to call a networking toolkit. Something that you should have on you at all times when you walk into a networking event. Of course, I'm going to say your business cards. Don't go anywhere without your business cards. And when I say anywhere, I mean anywhere. Don't go to the grocery store. Don't go to the dentist. Don't go anywhere without your business cards. You never know when you're going to have that opportunity to hand one out. Okay? You're going to have your elevator speech ready, memorized, ready to go. The icebreakers that I talked about, or maybe your own. Something else that's very important is a firm handshake. Now, I know some ladies like to be dainty. Don't be dainty. This is business. Okay? But conversely, guys, don't do the death grip either. You know, make it comfortable. Just one up and down is fine. Don't sit there and, you know. Eye contact, very important. A smile is very important. What about gum or mints? What if you just hit the appetizer buffet and they had something with onions or garlic in it? Oh, man, I hope you have something in your back pocket or in your purse to cover up that smell. Nobody wants to smell that, right? The other thing you want to be very careful of is your attitude and, again, your body language. Suppose I'm at a networking event and I go there and I am all by myself and it's really uncomfortable. And I stand in the corner like this. Do I look approachable? Ew. Why do you do that?
I just said you're the person I would be talking to.
That's an excellent point. And something I was going to recommend, actually. So, no, the person standing by themselves is always the person you want to go talk to because your presence is going to be most welcome. However, if I'm standing like this, I don't look approachable. I mean, maybe I'm cold, but watch your posture. Make sure you don't have a scowl on your face. I don't care how bad the day was. Fake it. Smile, make eye contact with people, and then don't be super negative when somebody comes over and talks to you either. Oh man, I hate this location, or parking was horrible. Nobody likes a negative Nelly. Leave it until you go home. Okay? Yes?
I just remembered my favorite icebreaker.
What's that?
Tell me something good.
Tell me something good.
And then people's minds just start, they're like thinking, oh, I had a grandbaby, or oh, my dog grew up.
That's fantastic.
I love, tell me something good.
I like that. I kind of feel like, who is it, Fox 4 News has that shtick going on. That's really cute. I like that. But be willing to help. Remember, it's not just about you, it's about them. And everybody there is thinking, what's in it for me? Okay? It's, again, not a numbers game, it's a quality game. Okay? Next slide, please. Now, what happens if you're an introvert? Who in here would consider themselves an introvert? Couple? Those of you who are scared to show me your hands. Obviously, I am not an introvert, but I feel your pain. I understand your pain. I know a lot of introverts. And I will tell you that I give a presentation on networking, and I have a whole section in there about networking for introverts. Because, again, it's one of those evil necessities that you have to do. So you might as well make it the most comfortable, right? So take a networking buddy with you, of course. Make sure you know somebody there. Maybe you start out with small groups, and then you continue to go to those groups over and over and over again. So when you walk in, you feel like you know people, right? And so anybody new is, oh, that's not as scary because there's not 100 people here. There's just like 2 people here, you know? So start with small groups. Let's see. Oh, you know how I talked about before about making a goal? You know, maybe you meet 5 quality leads, 5 quality prospects. If you're an introvert, don't put that pressure on yourself. Maybe it's just 2 or 3. That's totally okay. You don't have to stay the entire time at these events. If it goes till 7, tell yourself you can check out at 6 or 6:30. There's no harm in that. If you need to take a rest and go outside and recharge your batteries, do it. Excuse yourself with grace. Go to the restroom, go to the bar, go to the lobby, whatever the case may be. Whatever it takes to recharge your batteries, you have that opportunity, and it's okay to do so. Okay? All right. All right, so at the end of the day, what I really want you guys to take away from this is how to rock your business. And the way you're going to do that is to be bold about it. Right? You need to know your stuff. You need to know how to run a business. Be humble enough to know what you don't know, and then go learn it. Have a professional help you when it comes to branding and promotions. Set goals for yourself. Do you know how motivating goals are? Especially financial goals. If you know, just from a budgetary standpoint, that you need to make X amount of dollars per month to survive, print that out. Put that in front of your desk where you will see it every single day. Money is a huge motivating factor. Use that to your advantage. Get motivated and stay motivated. Those psychological tips that I shared with you earlier make a huge hell of a difference, okay? Get up in the morning, set office hours, get dressed, make your bed, get out of the house once a day. Little things that make a difference. Now, at the end of the day, this is not a hobby. Even if it is a part-time job, you're still running a business. Treat it like a business. Be serious about it. Have a stellar brand and promote it all the time. All the time. Take advantage of those networking opportunities. Find a buddy to go with you. Get out there and be seen, be known. Position yourself as the expert in real estate. Okay? Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for listening to me. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to entertain them.
I have a question.
Yes.
In regards to like volunteering, and I put down a note, Chamber of Commerce, like, is there just a list of open boards, or
Pick something you like. Now, you can go and find a resource like KC SourceLink. They're a fantastic resource for small businesses here in town. Their website has a ton of information.
What was that again?
KC, like Kansas City, SourceLink. Link, L-I-N-K. Excellent resource for small businesses. I don't know off the top of my head, but if anybody's going to have a list like that, it would be them. Otherwise, if you're interested in your Chamber of Commerce, call them up. You know, whether it's Greater Kansas City or even Overland Park has one, Olathe has one. You know, all of the surrounding suburbs have chambers. There's BNI groups. There's a bunch of stuff that you can get involved in. Even if it's like, you know, a charitable organization like Wayside Waves, you know, American Heart Association, whatever the case may be. The more that you put your name out there and rub elbows with people, the better off you'll be. Yes?
People are looking for groups to meet people. Meetup is great for that.
Meetup, absolutely. Another free resource. It's meetup.com, isn't it? And you can type in your interests and find people who are like-minded in there. Any other comments or questions? All right, thank you very much.